because you already got it down pat. You already showed you can make it happen. You already showed that you can do this. You already showed that you got the knowledge. But the thing is that nobody cares about none of that. Nobody cares about the fact that you know how to do it. That's not even relevant. The only thing that matters is, can you provide enough value to the world that you can actually call it your life, call it a lifestyle, make something of it. Because it doesn't matter how much you can do it. When it comes down to the end of it, like, yo, for real, Stan Lee knew how to draw. But at the end of it, at the end of Stan Lee's life, when he made all that money and Marvel became what it was, bruh, nobody even cared that he could draw.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again. But before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We want to just give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. Alrighty, Mac. How's your week been, sir?
The week been it's been kind of slow. You know, my week start at the last day of my work week. So it's been kind of slow up until now, but today I got to get on it. So we'll see.
I feel that. Week's been pretty good. Got a lot of I ain't gonna say a lot. Still got a lot of stuff I want to accomplish, but the internet ordeal has been somewhat accomplished, somewhat dealt
Resolve.
with. Resolved. There we go. Resolved. Yeah, resolved. We're gonna say resolved for right now. So now I don't know why companies do this. Like, we've had this problem like back in the day with like DirecTV. Like, they don't tell you that there's like a new model of the product that they're using or something, and then they wait till you like complain about it, and they're like, "Oh, here's a new RODEM, router, modem, all this stuff." I'm like, y'all just had this like just sitting in the back, like.
So I have my own shit.
So yeah. Also turns out that somebody in the neighborhood, county, or something was wrong with their internet, and for their modem or something was messing up other people's internet somehow.
What the fuck?
The only thing I can think of is maybe somebody tried to build like a at-home crypto mining thing, and because that draws a lot of power and a lot of bandwidth. So like that's the only
Giving
thing that
people
came
too much credit.
That's the only thing that came to my mind.
Living the boondocks, man.
that would be the perfect example. Everybody's in there's going out of whack because this one person wants to build a crypto mining server or some crap, ends up blowing their house halfway to Kingdom Come or whatever. But yeah.
I ain't never heard no stuff like that. It kind of sounds like one of those excuses where that somebody make when they know they fucked up something, but they just kind of bridge the gap. Kind of like some shit that happen at work all the time, but
Ooh, big fact. Ooh. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. But yeah, we got a new modem rattle downstairs. It's been doing quite well for the most part. We haven't tried to do anything like too serious on it. Uh, just been kind of running it real light because like we can't really test it because Courtney can only like log into her computer like when it's time for her to work. So I can't test her doing her stuff and then me trying to do X
I
Y
mean,
Z at the same time.
one of the biggest tests might be like Netflix or something.
True, that might be one way. Try to run it uh two accounts or something, or two things at one time, like both
Or
the TVs or something. Or I'll do
just
the
test your internet speed online. You know, they got a whole bunch of tools that you can just test your internet speed.
that's one way. That's one way. Uh, but yeah. That's been my week. Somewhat productive, somewhat uh getting problems resolved.
So like I man, it's terrible that like that's what you decided that you wanted to talk about on this episode, because like I've been going through some stuff recently that has just been making me angry.
Okay.
Like I just been mad the whole like just I'd like find myself in random conversations and just be like angry at everybody. And I was trying to figure out what it was, man. And I realized that it ain't enough growth happening in a long enough period of time. How you feel about that? I don't know if
Um,
this is going to the topic or not, but I just I had that on my mind. Like I don't know how I feel about it.
nah, I feel that because even I get that way sometimes. I've been that way kind of recently. Because it's like you take one step forward and then end up having to take two steps back because of I ain't gonna say stuff that doesn't necessarily you have control of, but you feel like you've been doing something for so long, or uh this podcast, or being renting a house for so long, and you've been doing it for so long that you haven't moved on, like you haven't gotten to the next step because of XYZ or something, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I want to roll back that statement that you just made about something that's not in your control. I feel like if it's happening in my life, then I have control over it. And if I'm in the situation where I can't control and it's happening to me, then I put myself in the situation. So that's my
Yeah.
control. So I just wanted to add that in there before I move forward. But nah, man, like I just I just been I don't know, like I like it's a lot happening right now. Like and not enough happening at the same time. And with the baby coming, it's just been on my mind. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? And like the adversity that you referring to is like everything that's happening around me, bro. Like it's just like the work stuff, the book stuff. Like I ended up in a situation where, we all know my goals. Like I talk about them a lot on this podcast, but like one of my problems is that like, yo, you ain't making no sales right now. You ain't making no sales. You ain't pushing
Mm.
the product the way you supposed to be pushing the product. You ain't producing the product the way you supposed to be producing the product. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, is this how bad of a problem is this? So um I had to really sit with myself and like and ask myself like, yo, are you really like what are you doing here? And why are you doing this? Why are you spending so much time doing this if you ain't gonna make nothing happen? Because one of the things that I think as humans we forget is that when you say you productive, there needs to be a product produced.
Mm.
Those words are synonymous with each other. They're like production, produced, producing. Like you can say you productive all you want, but if there's no product produced from from that production, then you ain't got nothing. So like I was saying a lot that I was trying to be productive. I was trying to stay productive, but like yo, for real, like I'm not producing the way I supposed to be producing. Therefore, I feel like that's the reason why I'm not. That's why I'm not producing the way I'm supposed to be producing. If that make any sense, I hope you caught that.
So with that, right? What is the scaling of, because you are making books, you are writing books, uh, you're putting them out there, you're you promote them wherever you need to promote them at. So would the goal be the sales? Is it because you're not making the sales that you want?
I ain't, I ain't producing. I ain't producing the income.
Okay, all right, all right.
You see
So
what I'm saying? Like
you're
like
not producing the
you said
income.
writing. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
writing. Yeah, I'm writing pretty. I can do that pretty good, but it's the other side, bro. So like, and I always put that off on a few different things. Like yo, it ain't the
Mm-hmm.
time right now. Like yo, I ain't ready to do that right now. Like I ain't got this book out yet. Right? I it's a lot of different factors that put me in the mind space of saying, well, if I put it off for now
Mm-hmm.
and come up with another strategy, then and I don't know, like right now my strategy of going back to rewrite book one could be the it could be the bread and butter. Because like obviously you writing a book five and don't nobody want to read book one. That's a little bit of a challenge there. And I've come across some people who have said that like yo, this is a good story, but it could be better. And like yo, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that. And like for somebody to sit down and tell me that you know this product ain't what you said it was supposed to be, like are some things that won't leave my head
Mm-hmm.
as I'm doing all of this, right? So like I who knows, like the strategy of moving through here and going back to book one, that could be the best strategy for me right now. But like it's a little bit of a challenge because going back to book one ain't about to make no money right now. Because book one is already out. So like it like that's one of those things that I, one of those brick walls that I'm facing right now.
Okay. Uh, so because what you're talking about, what you're explaining is basically the process to make the money. You're in that middle, limbo area where you're putting in work, you getting the product ready, but you ain't got the sales. So
But it
it's
don't feel good in the
I
process.
I, I understand that it's
That's the thing we here to talk about. It don't feel
yeah,
good in the process. That's the
yeah,
thing we here to talk about. Let's build off of that. You
okay,
back now?
yeah. I'm
All
back.
right,
I'm
all
back.
right.
Yeah. It Cause like sometimes it'll send you in a spiral. I know it sends me in a spiral because, and I hate people that have conversations like that where it's just one big circle. I can't do this.
My
Why can't you do
God.
that? Because of this. But why don't you do this? I can't do this because of this. And it just
Like,
repeats.
is it
And I'm
like
like,
every time you give them a solution, they got an excuse why the solution ain't gonna work, bro? It's terrible, man.
just and yourself being in your own mind because you don't know that end of the process. You don't know what that end of the process looks like because you said you don't know if going back to rewrite book one would be the end all be all, or continuing on with the series. Maybe that
Yeah,
would be the
it could
question.
blow me up.
Yeah,
Like for real, it
either
could blow
one
me
of
up.
them. But truly, with that, could it be that both of those things are the answers?
Yeah,
Like,
it could be. It could very well be. But like the one of the hiccups is like, yo, people come to situations like that on a regular basis,
yeah,
and the moment that they got to turn back and look at the beginning of their process, they tuck tail and run because it's like,
mhm,
yo, it was hard enough doing that the first time. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that once.
right.
I already did that. I put my blood, sweat, and tears there already, and now you telling me I got to go do it again, bro? I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it.
But I feel like it's there to make you better, because you know, uh, it's kind of like a person that he goes in and out of relationships a lot. You would see that person as someone that's bad with relationships, or on the other end, it's someone who's learning from each failure or each failed relationship, and they're getting better as they go through each one. You see it in movies, TV shows. That person, he goes through, or she goes through a bunch of relationships until she meets that right one. They've learned from all their mistakes. They're a different person. They're more mature now, and they settle down and they can have a happy relationship. Uh, but from the beginning, they didn't know what that looks like. From the
Mm,
beginning, they were in ignorance. They were in bliss. They thought, I could be with this person and I can step out on this person, or I can manipulate this person to get whatever I need, and then when I'm done, I could just move on. I could just repeat this cycle.
mm,
But the thing is, you grow with age, you get tired, you get sluggish, you you know, you start growing heart. You start feeling empathy towards these people, and you end up stop doing bad things to people, Uh that's how the movies go. But in like this aspect, it would be you continuing on that process. You go through the process until you reach the end goal. And then, well, you reach the end goal, and then you can repeat that process and get you you put that process into other things, and you complete those goals, basically. I'm sorry, got lost.
yeah, I'm lost. You lost me. Yeah. Hmm. I thought you were gonna loop that around to the. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Um, damn, I had somewhere I was going before that happened. So like, all right. Let me let's get back to ground zero where we were supposed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
So we here to talk about the person who is going through all type of hell.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta go. They're going through all type of hell, but they quit before they reach their results. All right.
Okay.
So we talking about the 3 feet from gold theory. That you never knew that you been hustling this whole time. You had a plan that you were going for, and I believe we have a movie example right now that portrays exactly what we're talking about right now. The pursuit of happiness.
Ooh. Okay.
That I feel like that one is the perfect example of what we're talking about here because this man was going through hell, like literally. Like if you watch the movie, like I don't know if anybody who's listening to this ever seen it, but like if you watch that movie, my man was going through literal hell. He was homeless. He had his son with him. The mom left, and he was trying to figure out how to make it. Like he was a single father living on the streets, and I think they were in New York, right? Or were they in Chicago? I can't remember what city it was in. One of those, but he was living on the streets. They were bouncing from place to place. They had no money. He had no food. He had no food to pay my man. He was like just trying to do everything that he possibly could just to make it to the next day. Like, listen to that. He was trying to make it to the next day. He wasn't even trying to make it to a goal. He was just trying to make it to see tomorrow, right? Like he was skipping out on meals to feed his son. He like I said, he had no kind of money. He had a dream. He knew exactly where he wanted to be, and because he didn't have no money was the reason why his wife left him, and she left him with the kid. So like, it was a lot of challenges happening in my man's life, and it just seemed like no matter what he did, he was always getting pushed a few steps back. So I'm trying to imagine, because that was based on a true story. So I'm trying to imagine. Yeah. They have you seen the movie?
Should have happened here.
Yeah, they showed the real dude at the end. Yeah, they showed him at the end. Him and Will Smith, they were taking a picture together. They showed it at the end of the movie. But yeah, like I'm just imagining, because like like at that last point, and it probably was a little more dramatic in the movie, but like at that last point, right? They were showing the contrast of what could happen if my man just gave up right now. Because like at the like when it built up to the end of the movie, like he was at his breaking point. He was about to give up right there. But at the moment that he was about to give up, and the moment you see the fire burning out in his eyes, that man, something happened. Like a switch came up, and my man was like, you know what? No, this is not the end. This ain't the end. And like shortly after that moment was when he made a decision to go out on the ledge, go out on the limb, and give it his all. And I'm thinking of the scene when my man went in the interview and he had no, like his clothes was all jacked up because he was like, yo, like I have to get this job. Like, yo, you don't understand what I'm coming through, what I'm coming from. Like I got this skill. Like my man was all tattered up at the interview when the folks was looking at him crazy. Like at that moment, like before that, he was about to give up, and then he still went through it. He still went through with his ordeal even after he was about to give up, and still got to that point, and that's when things started to change for him. So there's a lot of things happening in the lives of average everyday people just like that. And the problem here is that y'all getting to that breaking point, and instead of moving forward, y'all moving sideways. I got some examples for you if you want
to. What came to my mind when you were saying all that was like, especially in that moment where he does go in the interview, just like, I need this job. One thing was like, it's crazy how you would try that today, or well, I don't know anybody that would try that, but like interviewers would literally accept the guy that's unqualified, that doesn't really want the job, all because of this whole resume interview thing. But a guy that comes to you and is like, yo, I need this job. I'm gonna do everything I need to, figure out what I need to know to do this job to the best of my abilities. They wouldn't take that guy. But another thing that came to mind is like,
but here's the thing though. You say that, but like that situation, even though it was dramatized in the movie, it still happened. He still got the job over people who were dressed to the T. They were in that joint fly, and they seemed like they were the better candidate on paper. But the thing is that This man realized that if I had showed that I can add value more than anybody else showed that they can add value. He like you can listen to him when he said in the movie, like you can hire one of those guys out there. Like you can, but they're not gonna give you what I can give you. He showed that he can provide the most value.
Okay.
And that's why he got that job.
All right. Like I said, another thing that came to mind is like, do it scared. A lot of people, they'll get to that point, and because they don't have the fanciest, they don't look fly, they don't, they scared to even walk into the building, to even go into the elevator to get to that floor. They tuck tail and run, and it's just like, you didn't even have the courage to go to bat to go to bat for your goal. So why would you complain about, the processes, or even getting to that point when you weren't going to even go through with it? That's like people today, they so afraid of water, they don't even know how to swim today, and they have all these things that could teach them how to swim. Like swimming ain't really,
It ain't
is
that deep.
it ain't.
It ain't
But
that
people
deep.
to this day, people in they 50s, people go their whole lives without touching water, without being able to swim, because they're so fearful. And that's just like, with their goals and dreams, they'll never accomplish them because they're that fearful. They won't take that first step. They won't learn that first skill. They won't put their hearts in line on their goals to accomplish them. And it's like, how you gonna complain, or how you gonna, come to people, ask for help, if you're not gonna give it your all? You're not
Stop right
gonna.
there. Stop right there. All right. So let's stay on the water right there.
Mm,
Let's stay on the water. All right. So we just pretty much told you, like, swimming ain't that deep. There's people out here learning how to swim in 30 minutes.
facts. Babies.
Literally. 30 minutes. You come out the womb and you were swimming in the amniotic fluid the entire time. And so you come out the womb, babies out here paddling whenever they get close to water. Like the same thing that dogs do when you hold a little puppy over the water, babies do it too. So like you already know how to swim. Internally, you already know how to swim, but it's the reality of life that hits you. I can drown in that.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps you from not wanting. There's sharks in there. Like it's stuff like that that keeps you from wanting to actually learn how to swim. So you ignore your instinct for the fear. But here's the thing. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I got thrown in water that was too deep, and I had to learn how to swim on the spot. Like I'm just being real with you. I was in there, and it was either like the lifeguard was just kind of like just with the oh shit face on, just like, oh, what's going on? Like it was do or die, like literally do or die right there in that moment. But like, check this out. Like I said, people learning how to swim in 30 minutes. Like that's the shortest time that I've heard that I've known of anybody learning officially how to swim. It took me a little bit longer after that moment to learn how to swim than that, but I did learn how to swim that day because I was like, never again would I be thrown in this situation and not know what the fuck I'm doing. Like the earth is covered with 73% water. Like ain't no way in hell I'm a 80 some percent. I don't really remember, but I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be covered. I'm gonna be on a planet with that much water and not know how to swim. Just putting that out there just like that. But like for real, people learning how to swim in just a matter of minutes, but you too afraid to touch the water. So like this is metaphorically speaking, right? Just imagine you don't know how to swim, but somebody said that you had to learn how to swim in order to reach that goal that's floating out in the middle of the water. But you too afraid to go get it. You too afraid to risk it all to go and swim to that destination, that rock, that point of success that you're trying to reach. because every single time that you touch the water, it's every single time you touch the water, it's always something bringing you back. It's always something knocking you down. So like the only thing you got to do is learn to swim to reach your destination. And it sounds easier said than done, right? It does. And I can think of like just about any business or any industry that you're in, right? I can think about any one of them and come up with a way, just some surefire way to get to the top of that business or that industry. Like there's a path set in every industry that you in. And there's a way to get to the top of every industry that you're in. And we can all sit back and think of them. And the only thing we need to do is learn how to swim in our lane. But some of y'all don't even want to learn how to swim in order to get to the platform in the middle of the water.
Yeah. Basically it's take that that metaphor and put it to real life. Like people don't want to learn how to make their own money. They'd rather go to jobs,
That's
ask
the
for
swimming.
Yeah,
That is the
that's the swimming. Make your own money. People don't want to learn that, and then they expect people to just hand them their freedom, hand them their goals and dreams on a silver platter. No, you didn't work for that. You didn't put in time and effort to learn how to promote yourself, learn how to get a talent, work
learn
at
how
your
to
talent.
produce.
Yeah, learn how to produce to have financial wealth, have wealth in general. It's wild how that fear would have you like on the journey to your goal, and then that just like that the biblical story, dude was on the water walking to Jesus, and then he got fearful, sunk right then and there.
Damn. Yeah.
It's
Damn.
like we let that fear trip us up so bad, and to the point where we won't even try again. Like people will turn back and then try to go another route. No, that's the route that you were put on. That's the route you need to follow.
Yeah.
You gotta go for it. Like if you're gonna turn back to, figure out how to push through that brick wall that you hit. Learn how to push through that trial that you're going through. Because it's gonna happen regardless. Like it was put there for you to overcome so you can get better at it. But
You
y'all
mess
wanna
around.
turn around and try another route, then come to that same problem. Turn around, go another route, still come back to that same problem.
Mm-hmm. Then you mess around and be a jack of all trades.
Yep, there you go.
You couldn't stick through it. You ain't had no what they call it, stick with ability. You ain't had it. You couldn't stick to the plan. Everything like you it got hard and you just automatically just turned around. You just like, you know what? I guess it won't meant to be then. It's like old girl who was like, if they don't give me a position, then I'm gonna take it as a sign from God and I'm gonna go find another job. Oh wow, because you had to fight for her. You had to fight for a position, and that's the reason why you didn't want to. You thought it was a sign because you had to fight for it. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of challenges in your life if you feel like if you feel like fighting for what you want is a problem. You're gonna have a lot of challenges in your life. Why is this kept though, Mark? She did end up fighting for the job. She was both of them, bro. They ended up fighting for it. They end up networking the way I told them to network, bro. Like, and I ain't looking for no credit. I promise you, I'm not. But like, at some point, bro, you got to realize like, life ain't what I think it is.
Ooh.
Like, I'm not who I think I am. So if I'm not who I think I am, then I guarantee you these people ain't looking at me like like I want them to look at me. They don't think about me the way I want them to think about me. Like I promise you, they not. Them people don't know you. They ain't never heard of you, and you gonna have to prove yourself. And some of y'all, the problem with this conversation right now, some of y'all want to, and I'm trying to say this correctly. I'm trying to be politically correct about this because this is a huge problem for most people. Some of y'all looking for other people in the world to verify who you are, or you looking to prove to other people that you can do something or be something, but you ain't proved to yourself yet that you can be that.
Yep. And that's where you have all the people that are with the episode we did with Alex, those people that just kind of come up in your conversations. They listen to the goals and dreams that you have, and they just want to, you know, just get all in that conversation and feel good or
Yeah.
one up you. But before we get on that though, like let's take it back to I remember what you said when you was like, that's how, you know, those people become the jack of all trades, right? Sometimes those people that become the jack of all trades, they'll get to the point where they want to gatekeep, right? They see somebody going for a goal or a task that they were on, that they turned back, or they just quit, and they'll put their 2 cents on, or they'll put their mindset on that person that's trying to go for that same goal that they were doing. Oh, I did XYZ and it didn't go well. The market ain't good right now. I used to, you know, be in this job and it ain't work out. That didn't work out for you.
All right.
You quit.
I got the perfect question next time for anybody who listening to this right now. If you ever hear it, because people out here doing that, and I had the same thing. There was a guy he used to work with us, and he published a book before, and this man published one book. It was like 131 pages, and like there was no marketing on the book. The joint didn't even have a cover, and he swore to God that it was hard to publish a book. This was back in like 2001 when or like 2004, 2009, I think it was when he published the joint through Amazon the first time. And like the man was trying to tell me how challenging it was and all, like how he tried to do it. And I don't think he was really trying to I don't think he was trying to shoot my goals down, but he was trying to stand in the same league with me, and I was just like, I ain't necessarily feeling this conversation the way it's happening, so I'm gonna look my man up. So I ended up looking it up and ended up finding out all that information. Like the joint just had a picture of some clouds on it. It was a book about dragons. I was like, I don't know how that correlate, but you know, I promise you this ain't about to be a good read just by looking at this. But like, here's the perfect question for somebody who tries to hold you back from your goals because they did something first. Ask them this next time that this conversation comes up. So say, I understand that you used to do this. What did you do wrong? Because there at that point, it takes the conversation off for you, and it makes the conversation productive for both people. Because you get to learn exactly what they did or what they didn't do to proceed in their career, and then ask them why they quit. Which at that point you might inspire somebody to get back into it, and then you might have a accountability partner too out of the deal. So like that's something that I wish I had asked some people prior to just even this conversation. I wish I had asked some people that, because there's a lot of people, you come across a lot of people who do what Mark just said. They come to you, they want to, oh yeah, I used to do that and this was what happened. You don't want to go this route. Don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. But you don't know nothing about this. Well, you get off.
Right. And like you said, it would be something that happened years ago. Like times change. Like as of right now, 2023, like things are growing rapidly. Like things become easier almost each and every week. Like there's an update for something daily nowadays. Like there's a new way to do things like each month. Like each month is like a a new challenge, a new way of making money almost. Like money is being literally printed daily. Money is being given away each and every week. And people still fearful to do any and everything to get it done. People are too fearful to jump in the water and start swimming and start learning how to make their own money.
Yeah, so mm, yeah, man. This is
Also,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
just a small little side note. Uh, before you learn how to make your own money, also learn how to I guess accept large amounts of money, or learn how to manage your money to not put yourself in the same position as you was back then. Also, um, I learned recently. I watched a video of I don't know if you seen the guy, but he's not a food critic. He just goes around. He pays for meals at like spots that are popular, and he just critiques it, his own honest opinion, and apparently people take to that like they swear by this man's words like it's the Bible. Like he'll go critique like this one restaurant and it'll just blow up. Uh,
You
but
ain't talking
like
about Uncle
that's
Roger, are you?
nah, not Uncle
The
Roger.
Asian guy? Okay.
This black guy, he has locks. Um, and he did this one food truck, and like he was just having an average conversation. He went live with the conversation or whatever, and people were just sending this man money. Like not the guy that did the critique, but
The food truck.
the food truck. And the food truck guy was like, "Yo, what did you do? I don't. What is happening here?" And he said, the food critic, he went there to pay for a meal or whatever, and all he had went live before and got money from that, and he just gave the money to the food truck guy. It was like $300. Dude wouldn't accept it. He was like, "Just give me 10 for the food." Guy's like, "No, he's trying to bless him. You know, he sees he's at this back alley.
Out
He's
here hustling.
out here hustling, trying to make an honest living, and he's just trying to bless him. He's just trying to give him, something to help him
Yeah.
on his way." Uh, wouldn't accept $300. Finally they talked and he finally accepted it or whatever. They did the little conversation, went live. Uh, people wanted to see him succeed, sent them 40,000 or like $4,000. He flips out, he calls the guy, and he's like, "Yo, what do I do with this? I don't want this. I don't know if I have to, return the favor." And then he's like, "No, it's a blessing. Like people are out here, uh, they're that fearful with like large amounts of money that they don't see it as blessings. They see it as stress. They see more money as stress." And it's like,
Mm-mm.
no, you don't think
But
so?
nah, nah. I get where you're going.
Mm,
I just like I think we gotta paraphrase that one a little bit. They don't see more money as stress. It's just the fact that they got it
mm.
and it was passive, and
Ooh.
it's almost like getting tax money. Like it was too passive, so it became stressful because you didn't earn it, or you feel
Mm,
like you didn't earn it. So there's a disconnect to it. It's like opposed to he was hustling. So like
mhm.
if he was getting paid some extra money per meal, like he would know he would be fine. Like it would just be like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like not, or if somebody tipped him and like they just dropped it in a tip jar or whatever after they came and ate at his joint or whatever, and he just ended up with $4,000 at the end of that, then he would be like, okay, yeah, all right. So, but yeah, That's why.
Okay.
That's where the stress come in at.
But all right, what you said it's a disconnect. Why so? Like,
Yeah, because the only blessing that we know is lottery, bro.
true. Yeah, these were black men. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. You got that one. You got that one. Uh, and it's crazy because like there's a community out there, um, that's willing to give any type of help if you want it, if you seek it. They're there. They're kind-hearted people out there, but because, like you said, our only blessings is the lottery. The only large sum of money that you could get passively is from the lottery, and that goes back to the conversation we had with working with our hands. People are so
Hmm.
driven by, like you said,
Hmm.
hustling and working with your hands that any type of other blessing or any type of other way is taboo. Is it comes with stipulations or something. It comes with something extra I gotta do, or interest or something, and it's crazy.
It is, man. It is. 'Cause we can't stop being hand people. I wanted to add that in there. We can't stop
We
being hand
can't.
people. It is all everything has to be with our hands. We can't use our brain for
Facts.
anything, man. Like, bro, who's to say that the dude who got that money,
Mhm.
like he can stop using his hands for a second, use his brain, realize that I can use this money to hire somebody.
Mm. Yep.
And then I can use the extra time from after I hire somebody to expand. Or hell, maybe he has somebody already. I can use that extra money as a down payment on another truck.
Mm. Mm.
Or a down payment on a physical location. Like, bro, the possibilities there.
Yeah.
Like, and we never seem to think about that when we're just working with our hands. And like I feel like, and you know what, it like bring it back to my situation in particular, because like this, I'm really like legitimately going through this right now. It's
Mhm.
like because we can't seem to break away from the hand people mentality that, you know, when as I'm writing, like only one part of that equation, like the whole author business stuff, like the whole only part of that equation that equates to actually using my brain is what happens after I use my hand. But because generationally, what I've been accustomed to is handwork.
Yeah.
So writing the books falls under that handwork, but it's that other stuff that I'm avoiding that's keeping me from succeeding, from my success. So in as it relates to as it relates to the island of where I'm trying to reach and what I need to be swimming to is that. Like that's the only thing I need to learn in order to get to where I'm trying to go. But because of where I come from, and it's not even a physical thing, bro. I want y'all to check that. It's like it's not even a physical thing. It's literally a mental thing. Like you
Yeah.
got the physical part down packed. Like there's nobody doubting you can do this. Like for real. Like you got people all the time say at our like in our circle who say stuff, who tell us that they can do stuff, and we never doubt that they can do it. But when they start talking about making money at it, that's where we start doubting them at. Why? Because you a hand person. You like the folks on Blackish. You're one of the hand people. You help people do this stuff. You don't do this stuff. You don't make this stuff happen. You you don't make this stuff happen. You just make it happen. You're not creating it. You're just making it. You're a hand person.
Facts.
So For real, like most of y'all listening to this right now are going to be hand people. I promise. Like 80% of people listening to this is going to be hand people. And what I mean by hand people is that, you don't necessarily use your brain when it comes to making stuff happen. You ain't necessarily the person moving the chess pieces. You still playing checkers, or somebody else playing chess for you.
Right.
You're on the board. It's like and literally, like it's like this, right? And I'm thinking of it on this term, and this might be a little too advanced, but like think about a chess piece or a chess board, right? And somebody is playing chess with your life, and on every square is a checkerboard. Every square of the chessboard is a whole checkerboard. And you in that one little square playing checkers while somebody else is above you playing chess with your entire life. And the only thing that you need to do to transition into that person that's playing chess is to stop using these and use this. And use your brain. Stop using your hands and use your brain. I forgot that we on audio too. You gotta stop. Only thing you gotta do to make it happen is to stop using your hands and use your brain. Literally the only thing that you gotta do, because you already got it down pat. You already showed you can make it happen. You already showed that you can do this. You already showed that you got the knowledge. But the thing is that nobody cares about none of that. Nobody cares about the fact that you know how to do it. That's not even relevant. The only thing that matters is, can you provide enough value to the world that you can actually call it your life, call it a lifestyle, make something of it. Because it doesn't matter how much you can do it. When it comes down to the end of it, like, yo, for real, Stan Lee knew how to draw. But at the end of it, at the end of Stan Lee's life, when he made all that money and Marvel became what it was, bro, nobody even cared that he could draw.
These are facts. Yeah.
In fact, you forgot that he could draw.
And what his first was it Spider-Man his first, or what was?
Either Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, one of them, Captain America, one of them. I don't remember. It was one of the original Avengers.
And it's like, and it might have started out, as crap. Like you've seen I ain't gonna say Archie comics, but like I remember grandma used to get the mail boy, get the little comics.
Sunday paper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not even Sunday paper. She signed up for something. She would get like the little comics, like actual comic books in the mail or whatever.
I didn't know nothing about that.
It was like old janks. They ain't look the best, but they were Marvel. It was like
It was like
Spider-Man issue janks.
the joint was like Dilbert.
Yeah,
You remember the comic Dilbert?
yeah. It was old timey janks, and
Yeah.
it wasn't the best, but like looking from there to now, we got HD printing, we got 8K. You forget all about the oldie jinx. Yeah, they're probably, it's probably still worth something today because of collectors and all that. But the growth from start to finish is irrelevant. All that matters is, he started, he grew his product to heights. He probably didn't even imagine it being that big when he first started.
And it's still growing out there. He did.
Still growing. The legacy of Stan Lee is gonna live forever. Might as well say it. It's gonna be here for our kids,
Bruh.
our kids' kids, and so forth and so forth. Like it ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
I think missing the fact, like, even if even when, because it's not a matter of if at this point, it's a matter of when. Even when they stop putting his name on the products, his legacy still continues.
Fact. They can do that. They can.
Yeah, hell yeah, that man dead. Who gonna fight for it?
That's it.
I mean, you say it all you want. They probably got a memorial of this man at their headquarters.
Yeah.
And by this point, they got a memorial for him, and probably at every headquarters, even in the studio, they probably got a memorial for this man.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
if you
sure they
work
got-
for Marvel, you'll know who he is. But you know, if they say when the joint come on, I know like most of the shows that come on, they still say based on the Marvel comics by Stan Lee.
Okay.
But at some point, the by Stan Lee part is gonna fall off. Let's just be real. It's life. Like it's life, and you ain't living no more. Like so, we ain't got to say that no more. So based on Marvel Comics, it's going to be the new thing. But nobody's going to forget where they came from.
Yeah.
Because this man decided to stop using his hands and used his brain.
Yep. All right. Is that what we ending with for the people?
I just want to add. I want to add the fact that he was the one that stopped using his hands and used his brain. But the other people who continue using their hands because they thought that was more important, you don't necessarily know about them.
Oh.
I just want to leave it at that. Something to think about. You're welcome.
Even on a a lesser scale, lesser scale, you know, working in construction, being there from the beginning of the product to the end, all the hand people, the people that are the grunts, laying the pipes, building the buildings, making the structures. You don't know about them, but the people that's in charge of the building, the people that paid for the building, that use their brain. Hey, this building is gonna succeed in this area right here.
Mm-hmm.
They name get plastered everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
They get their name on the building. They get their name on the deed to title, all that. They name everywhere. Your name, the person that built the building. Your name.
Oh, get how deep it is. Even if you die in the building, you still don't get. Don't nobody remember the dude that died in the new Amazon building that got built? We don't even talk about that.
You're right. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. What we got coming up, man?
Like I said, man, I'm going back to work on book one.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that point, I'm gonna make a hardcore decision to not be a hand person. Like I sat with myself already.
Mm-hmm.
I've already done the hard part. And I well, the part that I thought was the hard part, let's put it that way. I've already done it. And now it's time to make something happen, man. Like I have to get out there and put my name out there the way I was supposed to from the beginning. And I'm still reading this book by Karen Chase. I haven't gotten through it yet, even though it ain't even that long. I don't even know why I haven't finished it yet, but like it's helping me a lot. So I'm going to go back through once I start that marketing journey all over again, man. Like it's going to have to work because right now, like random, but so like with me about to have a kid, I know I'm not going to have the time to be a hand person. But the products are already there, so now it's time to push the product so that I can continue making the product. Because if the product can't beget the product, then if I can't make that happen, then something is wrong. And I'm going to figure out what's wrong. I'm going to use my brain to figure out what's wrong. That's what we got coming up next.
Yeah, I feel that. In the same boat. During this shift, I learned that the job is not where it's at. Like we've been saying that for a while, but like literally because of this shift, the job isn't cutting it. So I'm pushed into that same position where I'm gonna have to use my brain with the tools that I have and get out of it. You know, learn how to swim, learn how to make money. Uh, it's because it's out there. It's literally out there, and all we have to do is learn how to grab it, how to make it be attracted to us instead of us being hand people attracted to it. So yeah. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. I always say with me is the Aaron Mack. Before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.